Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Friday, and we're here with the wrestling wrap-up. A handful of news brought to you in one easy-to-watch video. Got a number of things to talk about, like the return of StarCast, what's next for Rey and Dominic Mysterio, some more info on Charlotte Flair's time off, Tammy Sitch, well, she was in court this morning, it didn't go well for her, and Vince has Mania 39 plans already? What? With that, that's all we got. We got more than that, but we got all that and more for today's wrestling wrap-up. It's May 13th. It's Friday. Yes, Friday the 13th. Oh, boy. Hopefully everything goes well for you. If you're superstitious and you think, uh-oh, Friday the 13th, well, hopefully nothing goes bad for you today. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. No, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PWU Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can take your Amazon Prime, link it to your Twitch account. You take that Amazon Prime, you take that Twitch account, you link them together, bada bing, bada boom, you're Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games. Dead Space 2 is one of the free games right now, which subsequently in, the news right now, the Dead Space remake next January. Heck yeah, I'm all for it. But you also get free stuff for games like Grand Theft Auto Online, Valorant, Fall Guys, and so much more. And the one thing that never changes is the one free subscription you always get to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did so right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. But on the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well with a super chat and a super sticker donation. Remember, all super chats do get read live on the air. Also, remember, you can hit that join button down below to become a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more, just like what we put up yesterday for Tier 2 and above members. You got our WWE Wrestlemania Backlash 2022 graphics package. Basically, I created my own graphics as I do for every pay-per-view that we cover here, and I gave you guys all the graphics that I used in case you guys ever want to use them yourself. Those are up right now on YouTube for channel members or over at patreon.com/PW Unlimited. Because remember, if you go to patreon.com/PW Unlimited, everything is there as well, but it is in a more condensed, confined, easier to find things area. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and, well, buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, claiming the free games, getting points and V-Bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, or whatever, it's going to ask you at checkout if you have a creator code. And you do. It's right here. It's PW Unlimited. Use the creator code PW Unlimited to check out through the Epic Game Store or any other Epic Games with a store in the game, in the launcher, and you'll be supporting us right here. Again, it's PW Unlimited. But with that, as we start the show here, we got a little bit of news that came our way, came everybody's way this morning. Well, it's the return of StarCast, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, after running, 4 shows from 2018 to 2019, well, Conrad Thompson has brought it back. As I received this morning in my email via a press release from Q Communications stating, quote, StarCast 5 head into Nashville. Pro Wrestling's biggest fan fest set to make its Music City debut. After a 3.5-year hiatus, StarCast, the wildly popular professional wrestling fan fest, is back and ready to rock the Music City. Often called the Woodstock of professional wrestling, StarCast 5, in partnership with Thuzio, a Triller company, will take place at the world famous Nashville Fairgrounds from Friday, July 29th to Sunday, July 31st. The event will also be made available worldwide exclusively on Fight. So it'll be available via Fight TV. And this is cool. This is really cool. They'll actually be at the fairgrounds, which I don't know exactly what that's going to mean. Because when you think fairgrounds, you think outdoors. You think open. You think, I mean, when I think Nashville Fairgrounds, though, I think the Nashville Fairgrounds racetrack that Dale Earnhardt Jr. is trying them to get to fix up so we can actually race there or see races there. But it's going to be at the Nashville Fairgrounds the weekend of SummerSlam. They go on to state, quote, pre-sale tickets for those who have purchased his past StarCast wristbands will go on sale at 12 p.m. EDT on Thursday, May 19th. Public sale tickets will go on sale at noon EDT on Friday, May 20th. StarCast.com is where you can get your tickets. Pre-ordering the event on Fight will also go live at 12 p.m. EDT Friday, May 20th. They state that the number one question I've gotten over the past 3 years at live shows, on social media, or in interviews is, well, when's the next StarCast? Said StarCast founder and creator Conrad Thompson. I'm so happy I can finally answer July 29th through 31st at the beautiful Nashville Fairgrounds. As our top guys at ad-free shows know, when my team and I get together on these events, our goal is to over-deliver for the fans. And the lineup and events we have scheduled for StarCast 5 will make it a can't-miss event for any wrestling fan. Having already worked with Conrad Thompson and his team on previous 4 very successful StarCast events, Fight is excited to present StarCast 5. The excitement that a StarCast event brings to those in attendance and extending to those watching at home is second to none, said Fight COO Michael Weber. I have fans to this day talk to me about rewatching the stage shows and events from the past StarCast events on Fight. We can't wait to be in Nashville to present what's going to be another historic event for professional wrestling fans. Again, StarCast 5 will give professional wrestling fans an immersive experience of stage shows, photo opportunities, meet and greets, autograph signings, and more. For the latest updates on the stage shows, talent scheduled to appear, and other StarCast 5 announcements, follow StarCast events on Twitter. Now, somebody that has been to StarCast before, somebody that went to StarCast in Vegas in 2019 over Double or Nothing weekend, I'll say right now, StarCast is fun. StarCast is fun. There's so many different things that they do in conjunction with the event. You got all the different talent there. Now, the big question here is they're doing this over SummerSlam weekend. I highly doubt any WWE talent will be there. Now, I say highly doubt and not say I don't, and not say there won't be, because who knows? The other question is, if it's over SummerSlam weekend, will AEW allow their talent to be there? That's the other question, because this is going to be, linked in, because they keep saying SummerSlam weekend, SummerSlam weekend. So that's the other thing. Are AEW talent going to be able to be there? We have a good idea of what the stage shows will probably be. I mean, there'll probably be a Bruce Pritchard show. There'll probably be an Eric Bischoff show, a Tony Schiavone show, maybe something with Arn Anderson, maybe a Taz show, because Taz has done stuff at multiple past StarCasts. So this should be really, really fun. Again, I'm very interested that it's at the fairgrounds in Nashville, because you think fairgrounds, you think outdoors. Is this going to be a lot of outdoor stuff? If so, last weekend of July outdoors, whoo. But again, I'm very interested, and if you can't make it to Nashville for the event, well, you can watch it all on Fight TV. But I'm saying right now, if you have the opportunity to go, don't pass it up. They haven't done StarCast in 3.5 years, and StarCast is a blast from the talent that's there that you can meet, talk to, get autographs from, take pictures with, the stage shows, the after parties that they throw. Now, I don't know what kind of after party they're going to throw here, but back in 2019, they threw an after party after Double or Nothing, where a lot of the talent on that show was at the party. Plus, I hope, for your guys' sake, if you're going, they get Ron Funches and X-Pac back. Because we had Ron Funches get high and watch wrestling. That was great. I didn't get high. I watched wrestling with a bunch of other people that did get high, like Nick and Ryan Satin was there and a bunch of other people. So that was a positive experience. One of the funner shows of the whole StarCast weekend. And I do have to say, I'm a little jaded on all of this because we were in as media and didn't have to pay for all the different special events and different things. Because to get into certain things, you have to have certain wristbands and this and that. Nick and I were there as media. So we got in to cover the show. We didn't have to actually pay. So our experience may be a little different than somebody else that was just there as a fan who had to pay for everything. But again, I will say StarCast is a fantastic experience that I would go to Nashville. I would say, I'll make the trip for SummerSlam. Actually, I've already said this to two people today. I'll make the trip to Nashville for SummerSlam just because of this news. Just because they've now got StarCast there, I'll consider going. Because before it's like, SummerSlam in Nashville? I can't do that. No, I ain't flying all the way out there. Then I get this. It says StarCast. I go, do I got to go to Nashville now? StarCast is that much fun. That much fun. But as we move forward, we got to talk about Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Two guys that, well, you can tell, like to have fun. We've seen Rey, I think, no, Rey was not. Never mind. I was trying to think if Rey was at the StarCast I went to. I think Rey appeared, and you can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I think Rey appeared at the first StarCast, but by the time the second one came, he was already with WWE. But we have some news on, well, what WWE may do with the Mysterios once they are back on television. Because we know Rey's been out. We know now why. Dominic, they wrote him off TV for Veer Mahan. And let's talk about what Dave Meltzer wrote in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter. Dominic Mysterio has been away from storyline injuries, or with storyline injuries, since April because, well, his attack from Veer Mahan. Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that Rey Mysterio has been out because he underwent stem cell treatment for various injuries as of late. Don't know what those injuries that Rey has been dealing with are, but he went and got some stem cell treatment because he's got nagging injuries, it sounds like. Now, there's been some talk of Rey and Dominic emphasis on not being together moving forward. WWE previously teased the storyline where Rey was sending Dominic out on his own, but it was promptly dropped. Basically, it was Rey was sending Dom on his own, saying you got to learn on your own on the fly, and then Rey would kind of get involved, and Dom would get mad, and this and that. And well, now it looks like maybe they restart that, or they just, hey, they're on their own. Meltzer wrote, quote, "It will be interesting to see what Dominic does on the main roster without the connection to his father, if they go this direction." So it looks like Rey and Dominic Mysterio could be split up when it comes to them returning to television, which I guess in the long term would work, because we don't know. Dominic can come back at any time. He's not really injured. He's not really hurt. They did the storyline thing with Veer. It's about time. He hasn't worked since what, April? Let's go Dominic Mysterio. Cage match. Dominic Mysterio cage match. Dominic's last match did come on April 11th. April 11th, so he can come back at any time. I can see him being back at any time. And Rey, if he's dealing with nagging injuries, keep him off TV for as long as you need. But it will be interesting to see what they do with Dom without Poppy. As we move forward, speaking of somebody off TV now, or for right now, Charlotte Flair. At WrestleMania Backlash, WWE did a storyline where Charlotte Flair fractured her radius, which is injury to the forearm. Basically a broken arm-ish type injury. That is a fake injury because she needed time off because she's getting married to Andrade El Idolo. We learned a little more for Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, as Meltzer wrote, quote, "In the Rousey-Flair match, Rousey made Flair submit to an armbar. In storyline, Flair suffered a broken radial bone forearm fracture. This was to explain Flair being out of action due to getting ready for her wedding with Mania Andrade El Idolo of AEW over Memorial Day weekend. She is scheduled to return over the summer going for revenge." So it looks like the wedding for her and Andrade will be taking place Memorial Day weekend, the final weekend of May. So it makes sense now why now she needed that time off. Why now she needed to be removed from television. So according to Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, they're getting married Memorial Day weekend, which is the weekend of the 28th, 29th, I think. Final weekend of May. And then she'll be back sometime this summer. No indication on how long she's going to be gone. Because, you know, she's going to get married, then she's going to go on the honeymoon, and then whatever. So maybe in time for SummerSlam. We've got Money in the Bank early July. We got SummerSlam late July. And we'll talk about later. Actually, let me look at something really fast. And we'll get more into this in a minute, because I got a story about Clash at the Castle. But I want to just see really fast. Is Charlotte actually advertised for Clash at the Castle? Not at the moment. That's September after SummerSlam. So we'll see when Charlotte does come back, but it seems like she's getting married in 2 weeks. And she'll be back sometime this summer. Now, as we move forward, we got a little bit of information regarding 2 recently released NXT superstars, in Dakota Kai and Malcolm Bivens. As far as Dakota Kai does go, Dakota Kai has filed a trademark on the name King Coda. Again, the name King Coda has been trademarked in, I guess you could say, preparation for whatever she's doing next in WWE or outside of WWE. We don't know exactly what her next move is, where she's going to go, if she's going to stay in the United States, if she's going to go overseas, what's going to happen with her. She knows she's going to need to get a visa, that situation and everything. But as of right now, she has trademarked the name King Coda. She is under a 30-day non-compete from when she was released by WWE. And now we sit and wait and see what's next for King Coda, the former Dakota Kai, the former Evie. Now, in turn, at the same time, basically, well, not at the same time, basically, at the same day, Malcolm Bivens was also released from the company. And now we have a little more info on what's the belief of Malcolm Bivens going forward. According to Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Malcolm Bivens may be expected to go to AEW, as Meltzer wrote the following. For whatever it is worth, in NXT, the belief was that Bivens didn't sign because he wanted to go to AEW and will be there when his non-compete ends. Whether that's true or not, that was the belief. So Malcolm Bivens' contract was set to expire at the end of the year or early next year. He told them and made it very clear, I'm not re-signing. I don't want to stay here. I'm going to leave when I can. So they released him well ahead of when his contract was set to expire, which means, well, he's going to be a free agent well ahead of when his contract was set to expire. And we'll see if these rumors and these beliefs of him going to AEW are true or not. But many do believe that he could be going to AEW when his 30-day non-compete is up. And I've seen a lot of people online say, hey, he needs to be the manager of Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill and the Baddies. They need Malcolm Bivens. And I think that would be a fantastic pairing. I think Malcolm Bivens, or Stokely Hathaway, as he would probably be known by again, would be great with those three, with Jade in particular, and Red Velvet and Kiera Hogan, the Baddies. But the big question is, what do you do with Mark Sterling? Yes, Mark Sterling's got his hands in a few different pots in AEW. He's got Jade, he's got Tony Nese, he's got the lawyer services that he's providing to MJF. So it's like, okay, yeah, Jade can go off and do her thing, and Sterling will be fine. He's going to actually wrestle at Double or Nothing in a tag team match with Tony Nese against Hook and Danhausen. So it's like, I get it. He's done a lot to build up Jade. He's been a good talker for Jade. And so it's kind of like, oh, we're going to pull you off of the Jade thing just for this guy. Some may see that as, oh, they think that he's better than you, which, in my opinion, Stokely Hathaway is better than Mark Sterling. But that's neither here nor there. It depends on what they feel, what they want to do. And if this is actually true or not, that Malcolm Bivens, Stokely Hathaway, does want to move on and go to AEW. I mean, he's got to move on to somewhere. He also did some comedy recently. He did, the week after he was released, he did a stand-up show. It was actually really funny. Make some jokes about WWE and the Performance Center. And he made one joke. This is super funny. I think I've talked about this already once before. He made a joke about, he was told by the Creed brothers, hey, you're the talk of the PC right now. Hey, you didn't want to re-sign, and now you just left, or they let you go and this and that. And he's like, a lot of people are like, why wouldn't you take the money? Why would they let you go? You're, this and that, da-da-da. And he made a joke going, well, yeah, because when you're in NXT anything can happen. You can be released at any time. Unlike when you're in NXT UK and you're over there, they forget about you. You can go murder someone's mama and they'll still keep you under company because they forgot you even work for them if you're in NXT UK. I thought that joke was funny. I didn't do it any justice at all. But go over there. It's on his Twitter. Go check out what he is doing. And yeah, Malcolm Bivens trying to make some moves. But as we move forward, we're going to talk about some unfortunate news when it does come to one, well, Tammy Sitch, the former Sunny. We all know the story going on. She was arrested, 2-3 times already this year. Once was in conjunction with a DUI car crash that was fatal. A man actually died. And she was in court today. Well, the judge was fully against her. This news comes from Fox 35 in Orlando as they wrote the following. WWE Hall of Famer Tammy Sitch was put in handcuffs and taken to jail. A judge revoked her bond. She's accused of driving drunk and causing a fatal crash. Prosecutors argued that she had 3 previous DUI convictions, was driving without a license, and would be a danger to the community. This then led the judge to say, yeah, no, she needs to stay locked up. She needs to go to jail and not be let back out because, hey, we tell her, no, you can't drive. She still drives. We take her license. She still drives. Put her on parole. Tell her, don't do this. She still does it all. So the judge said, you know what? We're revoking your bond completely. You're going to sit in jail. So this is all resolved and figured out because, there's death charges on her. Because a man died in a fatal DUI crash because she was driving drunk. I think this is the right move. I think this is a smart move. Because it's like I said, she's not learning her lesson. She's been arrested how many times for DUI, spent how much time in jail because of it, and just keeps doing the same thing once they let her out. The only way she's going to learn is when you can't make that mistake again because you're locked up. The only way she's going to learn is when she can't actually make the mistake again. So I think this is the right move, locking her up for good, or at least for as long as good can be, and not letting her back out. I think letting her back out would be a horrible, horrible, horrible move. Before we get into our last 3 stories here, we got to talk about our sponsor for today's video. And well, Fight TV. Fight TV more specifically. Tomorrow morning, afternoon's fight. Floyd Mayweather, Don Moore. It's time to get ready for the incredible Mayweather vs. Moore fight that headlines the Global Titans Fight Series on a helipad 59 floors up in Dubai. Available as a pay-per-view event on Fight in major global territories, including the US, Canada, the UK, Ireland, Germany, and more. The event features legendary, undefeated champion Floyd Money Mayweather returning to the ring to face unbeaten, dangerous Dan Moore tomorrow, Saturday, May 14th. The show will also feature former UFC champion Anderson Silva in an exhibition match against Bruno Machado. Use our link in the chat or the description below to order this fight on Fight TV and support us right here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, this fight does take place tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, exclusively on Fight TV in the US, Canada, Ireland, UK, Germany, and more. It's Floyd Money Mayweather against dangerous Dan Moore. Everyone's going to be talking about it, so you're not going to want to miss it. As we move forward, I got to pull a graphic up on the screen. Got to pull a graphic up because we got the poster. Clash at the Castle. Pull this up right here. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. In on it a little bit. Clash at the Castle. We got the poster right here. On the poster prominently is Roman Reigns. That's good to see. Roman is on the poster. We also see Drew McIntyre and his sword Angela on the sword. is Becky Lynch, Cody Rhodes, Edge, Bianca Belair, Seth freaking Rollins. I think this is a badass poster. I think this poster is super, super cool looking. So yeah, I just thought I would, in case you guys missed it, it's been floating around social media all morning. The show will be taking place Saturday, September 3rd from Cardiff, Wales in Principality Stadium. It's going to be an early one. It's going to be live. I don't know exactly what time in Cardiff, but live, prime time in Cardiff. And so it'll air whatever, here in the United States. It's going to be an early show, just like when they do them Saudi shows. But I thought I would show you guys the poster just in case you missed it. I think the poster's bad freaking ass. I think, as some may say, it's BA. It's a BA. Speaking of Drew McIntyre, when Drew McIntyre came back to WWE, well, he kicked off his journey, his return in NXT. He became an NXT champion before moving on to the main roster. And when he was an NXT champion, they were touring. NXT was on the road, and it looks like NXT could be returning to the road rather soon. According to a new report from Post Wrestling, Post Wrestling has confirmed that NXT will be returning to the road with house shows in Florida in June. Their report states that sources within WWE have confirmed that the events will be held in Florida with no current plans to tour outside of the state. Now, in an update to this, according to Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, he does state that, and I'm going to double check this because I didn't fully write it down. I think Meltzer stated that. Give me 1 second here. Why do I not see it anymore? Let's go here. Let's go here. Had it, and then I accidentally closed the link. There we go. So Dave Meltzer wrote, quote, "They're back talking about returning to live events, which are badly needed given this talent situation there next month. I don't know if this brand would tour well nationally like in the past, but right now, that's not the plan anyways. The plan is to run smaller buildings in Florida, gearing around 200 to 400 fans in the driving distance from Orlando, so that way it's not a significant money loss." Meltzer states that the start date looks to be around 6/10, June 10th. So that would be a Friday. So maybe they do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday. They work in the live show on Tuesday. I think this is the right move. You need to get these people, not just in more matches, because you can go, well, have them do a bunch of matches at the PC. Okay, sure. You can do X amount of matches at the PC. But if you're not learning how to do these matches in front of a real live crowd, to bounce off of that crowd, how to feed off of that crowd, how to react to the crowd, then you're not really learning per se, in my opinion. No. I'm going to look something up. We just promoted the Floyd Mayweather fight, and apparently, I'm going to look that up as soon as we finish talking NXT, but apparently it may have been just canceled. We'll look into that. So anyways, they're going back on the road. I think this is a great idea. The more you can get this young talent roster in front of a live crowd to do matches, the better. Again, some people have said, well, why are they going to go on the road? Just do a bunch of matches in the PC. Okay, but they're not going to get real natural reactions. Yeah, their peers are going to react because what they do in the PC a lot of times is they set all the trainees up as like a crowd, and then they have guys and girls go in there and have matches. But you're always going to be a little jaded in that realm because your peers are going to know how they should be cheering for you. So they're going to give you that fake reaction of, ooh, he's the heel, I got to boo you. Ooh, that move looked bad, but I'm still going to give him a good reaction, even though the move didn't look bad, so I'm going to still, yeah, cool move. Even, if you're in front of a real crowd and you botch a move bad, you're going to get that, you suck, boo, that was not bad. The heckling and all that. As far as them going back to Full Sail, it has been talked about, but nothing is, what's the word I'm looking for? Fully intact. Or even in the books confirmed, other than, hey, they have talked about going back to Full Sail. But before we get into our last story, I do want to look up this Mayweather thing really fight. Mayweather. Uh-oh. This Floyd Mayweather, according to MMAfighting.com, exhibition boxing bouts involving Floyd Mayweather and Anderson Silva, scheduled to take place in Dubai on Saturday, have been canceled. Mayweather was set to face Don Moore, while Silva was paired up with Bruno Machado. But the event will no longer be happening following the death of the United Arab Emirates president, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, which was first reported by TMZ. Wow. The entire event's off because of, again, the death of the United Arab Emirates president. Dang. Really stinks. Multiple levels. So, well, we just promoted something that in the last hour was canceled. Last couple of hours. Well, dang. We'll see if it gets rescheduled. We'll see what happens with all of this. But as of right now, Showcase in the Skies of Dubai is no longer happening. But as we move on to our final news story here, apparently Vince McMahon, well, he's got some plans for Wrestlemania. So this all comes from Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter. Well, first off, I want to touch on something. Nobody's talking about the way they need to be talking about it. WWE aired a commercial this week multiple times for Money in the Bank, with Cody Rhodes claiming that the winner earns themselves a chance to main event WrestleMania. And people are saying, oh, they're saying that they've changed money. No, they haven't. I know I've yelled about this 3 times now this week. 2 times. This is going to be the 3rd. No, maybe this is the 4th. I don't care. I'm going to say it again. They haven't changed Money in the Bank. Think about it. Winner gets a chance to main event WrestleMania. What does that mean when it comes to Money in the Bank? Oh, you have the briefcase. You can cash it in before WrestleMania. You can then attempt to hold your title if you were successful till WrestleMania and then main event as the champion. That's what they meant. Not, oh, if you win Money in the Bank, you're going to move on to WrestleMania and challenge for the title there. No. No. Not what they meant. Jesus Christ. It literally was, you win Money in the Bank, you try to cash in. If you're successful, if you can then hold your title to Mania, then you got your inroad to main event WrestleMania. But Dave Meltzer wrote the following, stating, quote, the ad with Rhodes led to a lot of speculation, with many people assuming this was a mistake. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that many people within WWE were also under the belief that this year's Money in the Bank stipulations would be the same as they've been in previous years. It was said by some within WWE that the wording on the ad was a mistake that wasn't caught when it aired at WrestleMania Backlash, but then WWE aired the same commercial on Monday and Tuesday. I don't think it was a mistake. If you think about it, chance become the champion if you successfully cash in. Chance to main event WrestleMania if you win the title by cashing in and hold it till Mania. That's what it meant. Anyways, one source did note that McMahon already has plans in place for the top matches at WrestleMania 39, and these do not include Money in the Bank winners in the top matches. So that right there leads me to believe, does Vince already know who he wants to win Money in the Bank? Still interesting that the commercial aired 3 times without the edit, because it doesn't need to be edited. Commercial doesn't need to be edited because they said nothing misleading or wrong or different or mistakenly. I'm going to say this one last time. Win Money in the Bank, and that guarantees you a chance to main event WrestleMania, which means a chance to successfully cash in your briefcase If you do, then you get another chance to hold that title you won from cashing in all the way to Mania. And if you can, you have guaranteed that you're in the main event of WrestleMania or a main event of WrestleMania. That's what a chance to main event WrestleMania is. And anyways, Meltzer would also go on to state that The Rock versus undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns has been rumored for WrestleMania in Hollywood, along with Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey as well. That's what's going on with WrestleMania. Vince already knows, basically, as of right now, what he wants his main events to be. Remember, WrestleMania next year will be a 2-night event, April 1st and 2nd from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. So, yeah, Vince kind of knows what he wants. Can that change between now and then? Sure can. It's Vince freaking McMahon. Changes his mind all the time. Just because Vince has a plan now doesn't mean whatever that plan is doesn't get changed. So we'll see what this leads to. We'll see where this goes. We'll see what Vince's idea is in 11 months. A little under 11 months. With that, that's all the news that I got for you guys today. That's everything that we're talking about on the Wrestling Wrap-Up. But remember, tonight's Friday Night SmackDown, and 3 things have been announced for tonight's SmackDown. First off, RK Bro, they're coming to SmackDown. They're eyeing the Usos. They still want to unify the tag titles. Also, WWE has announced that Kofi Kingston will be going one-on-one with Butch. And finally, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships will be on the line when Sasha Banks and Naomi defend against a team of Natalya and Shayna Baszler. With that, remember, I will be live tonight following Friday Night SmackDown, breaking down that entire show, letting you guys know exactly what's going on with that. And also, I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch. I'm going to check the schedule really fast. Got an early Rampage. Rampage is on at 5:30 Eastern. I will not be able to watch that live because I'll be picking up my kids from school at that time, because that will be for me 2:30 Eastern. But maybe I watch Rampage before SmackDown if I can. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it. So remember, Rampage tonight as well. 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific, due to 2 hockey games taking place tonight. The Rangers and the Penguins, and the Flames and the Stars. So with that, guys, I'll say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PWU Unlimited. We'll be back right here tonight talking Friday Night SmackDown, maybe a little AEW Rampage. We'll see about that. But with that, guys, have a great rest of your Friday. If I don't see you tonight, have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.